This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, Formula One season isn't over, but Max Verstappen already got his fourth consecutive Formula One Drivers' Championship. We have results and rumors in and around the NBA. Gilas Pilipinas makes it to the FIBA Asia Cup Dubai 2025. We visited the San Beda practice and had a chat with team captain Yuki Andrada. All that and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 25th of November. Now, here's our roundup. In Formula One, Sin City's lights could not have been brighter than when George Russell turned his pole position into an exhilarating victory at the Las Vegas Grand Prix. Russell had his nerve against a late surge from teammate Lewis Hamilton as they closed out with a dominant Mercedes 1-2 finish. Ferrari's Carlos Sainz rounded off the podium with a strong performance. This exciting end was overshadowed, however, as Max Verstappen clinched his fourth consecutive Formula One Drivers' Championship with still two major races in the F1 calendar. Verstappen started in the fifth and finished there, but with his eye on the jackpot, he secured the championship as Lando Norris could only manage sixth. Verstappen now joins an elite list of four-time F1 world champions that include the Professor Alain Prost of France and the youngest world champion in F1 history, Sebastian Vettel. In a tweet on X, Verstappen thanked his team as he enjoyed the best performance of his car had shown all weekend. Verstappen took the course with his usual clinical execution to post a 63-point lead from Norris with only 60 points left for grabs in the final races of the season in Qatar and Abu Dhabi. Lewis Hamilton started at 10th on the grid, but masterful control brought him the second-place finish. In the NBA, league scoring leader Luka Doncic is still out with a right wrist sprain for Dallas, so it was a golden opportunity that Miami exploited. Trailing by two, coach Eric Spoelstra drew up a sidelines out-of-bounds play that confused the Mavs defense, and it worked. Jimmy Butler's game-tying dunk could have had a game-winning and one, but the referees did not see Derek Lively trying to catch up with the pass and getting Butler instead. Coach Jason Kidd blamed the loss on a lack of patience in executing their plays. The loss ended the Mavs' four-game winning streak. Meanwhile, the Boston Celtics secured a slim 107-105 victory over the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota tried a strong comeback to narrow a 19-point deficit. The rally ended with a quick passing game from Anthony Edwards to Jaden McDaniels and to the open Naz Reid, but Reid's buzzer beater three-point missed, sealing the Celtics' win. Rudy Gobert grabbed 20 rebounds and Edwards scored 28 points for Minnesota. Jaylen Brown, hot from the start with 5 successful three-point shots, also played a key defensive role in the final moments as he kept Edwards from scoring. The Celtics have won 18 home games in a row against the Timberwolves since 2005. For some reason, the idea of the Wolves trading DiVincenzo keeps popping up these past few days. But how is that possible when Minnesota has been eyeing the guard for a year before trade talks even started? DiVincenzo's numbers with the Wolves has not much deviated from his career averages, so he's exactly what Minnesota wanted. What weird rumors. In the second window of the FIBA Asia Cup qualifier, De La Salle tributes Kevin Kiambao and Mason Amos finally got playing minutes with Gilas Pilipinas as netizens asked for them after getting benched for the New Zealand face-off. Both college students, together with the previously underrated Kai Soto of the Koshigaya Alphas, gave a glimpse of Philippine basketball's future as Deadshot Kiambao showed off his shooting and Amos blocked the sun from the visiting Hong Kong China team. Soto finished with a double-double, 12 points and 15 rebounds. The Philippine men's basketball team smothered Hong Kong China 93-54 last night to sweep both assignments in the second window of the FIBA Asia Cup qualifiers 2025. The country's most agile, tall team ever won over New Zealand last Friday, 93-89. Changyon LG Sakers' Carl Tamayo with his standout all-around game feels blessed to have Coach Tim Cohn guiding him. He top-scored with 18 points on 8 of 15 field goal shooting and pulled down 6 rebounds, the offensive 5 of which were converted into second-chance points in his 17 minutes on the floor. By the fourth quarter and the game almost wrapped in a bow, people started chanting, "We want Dwight," referring to the Levanga Hokkaido team captain, Dwight Ramos, who skipped the Hong Kong game. Ramos played a key role in the Philippines' 16-0 third-quarter run against New Zealand. But Coach Tim Cohn bucked the crowd pressure and chose to do what's best for the popular Ramos, who pulled his calf muscle while leading the block party against the Tall Blacks. Gilas Pilipinas is still immaculate in Group B with 4 wins in 4 games and got an outright entry to next year's Asia Cup in Saudi Arabia after New Zealand beat Chinese Taipei in Christchurch this afternoon, 89-69. Gilas Pilipinas will continue to prepare against Chinese Taipei and New Zealand for the next qualifiers window in February next year. In tennis, Italy became the first nation to win back-to-back Davis Cup titles in the last 11 years after dispatching Netherlands in 2 singles matches today. For the Dutch, getting to the final was a major event in itself, as it was the first time in their tennis history to have reached this far in the Davis Cup, while today, with its better-ranked players, was Italy's titles defense. World number 17, Matteo Berrettini, gave Italy a head start as he took down Dutch number 2. Botic Van de Vanschelp 6-4, 6-2. If you remember, Van de Vanschelp eliminated Rafael Nadal during the inaugural match between Netherlands and Spain. Then, world number 1 Jannik Sinner capped his incredible 2024 by completing the sweep of the Netherlands by outlasting Alan Griekspoor 7-6, 6-2 in front of a raucous Italian crowd watching and cheering with drums and megaphones. In the UAAP Season 87 Collegiate Men's Basketball Elimination Round, Adamson University forced a playoff for the last semifinal spot by defeating Ateneo de Manila University 69-55. Key players for the Soaring Falcons included Royce Mantua, who scored 14 points, and Manu Anabo, who added 13 points. Ateneo's Jared Bahay and Ian Espinosa scored 14 and 10 points respectively. But it wasn't enough to prevent the Blue Eagles from ending the season with a 4-10 record. Adamson finished tied with the UE Red Warriors, and their playoff will determine who advances to the Final Four to face the top-seeded De La Salle Green Archers. The Soaring Falcons won 3 of its last 4 games, while the Red Warriors lost its final 5 games. Adamson head coach Nash Rosella emphasized the importance of their defense in securing the win. The Soaring Falcons allowed the least points scored this season, specifically in the paint and in fast breaks, whether by starters or the bench. The knockout playoffs will be played on Wednesday at the Mo Arena, while the Final Four will be played on Saturday at the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Filipino FIDE Master Mario Mangubat from Minglanilla, Cebu won the FIDE World Senior 65-plus Rapid Championship. The 66-year-old secured the title with 4.5 points in 6 games at the 32nd FIDE World Senior Chess Championship in Porto Santo Island, Portugal. Mangubat also won a bronze medal in the Blitz event, where International Master Chito Danilo Garma took gold in the 50-plus Blitz category. The Philippine team's trip is supported by various organizations, including the Philippine Sports Commission and the National Chess Federation of the Philippines. Now for our daily dose of sports lingo. No, it's not for breakfast that you can top syrup or butter in volleyball. A pancake is the emergency move to stop the ball from hitting the court. This is a blocking motion used by a player who lands on the floor with their body in an attempt to save the ball, leaving one open palm on the floor to allow the ball to bounce off of it. A sweet save, you can say. It's time for our off-court buzzer now. Making a Buzz is the first of EJ Obiana's pole vault training facilities that opened to the public last Friday in Lawag, Ilocos Norte. In a Facebook post, the boyfriend ng bayan and best Asian pole vaulter emphasized his intent to allow, quote, individuals to become independent and capable of sustaining themselves. His vision is to help young athletes to harvest medals by providing a venue for them to master the sport. The next facility, he adds, would be in Tagum, Davao del Norte. Also creating buzz, 2 Americans of Filipino descent just made National Hockey League history. Matthew Domba's assist on Jason Robertson's goal made them the first Phil-Ams to combine for a goal. The shot helped their team, the Dallas Stars, beat the San Jose Sharks. Dumba is a Canadian-born with Filipino roots on his mother's side and Romanian-German on his father's side. Robertson, named Robo by his teammates, is also Filipino on his mother's side and Scottish on his father's. His younger brother, Nicholas, plays for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 25th of November. When we return, we will get to know the team captain of the San Beda University Red Lions, Yuki Andrada. So watch out for that when we return right here on The Scorecard. We are here right now with the team captain of the defending champions of the NCAA, San Beda University Red Lions, Yuki Andrada. Yuki, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you rin po.
Yuki, the first time I heard about you was NCAA Season 95. And you won 3 awards aside from the championship that season. You were the most improved player, you were part of the all-defensive team, and you were part of the Mythical 5. And I said, you know, this is the next guy. This is the next high school standout that's gonna move up to the collegiate ranks, but I wasn't sure kung magsistay ka sa San Beda because during those days, if you're a good player in San Beda, yung iba lumilipat ng school. So, talk to me about that season and were you a late bloomer when it came to basketball?
Actually, medyo late, hindi naman late bloomer kasi nakikita ko na yung kuya ko maglaro noon pa eh. Tapos napunta ako sa America noon, mga bandang 12 years old ako.
Wow, okay.
And then doon ako nag-start ng parang organized basketball talaga. And then nung pagdating ko rin sa Pilipinas, nag-tryout ako sa mga teams. LaSalle Green Hills,
Okay.
sa NU.
Okay.
And I was supposed to go to NU. But ayun, na-recruit ako ng Beda with Coach JB season niya.
Okay.
And then nag-start na yung playing ko ng basketball. Pero nung una, I was Team B. 2 years ako kumbaga, very little minutes ang nakukuha ko ng NCAA first year ko nun.
Okay.
And then nung pagdating ni Coach Manu sa amin, ayun, nung season 95.
Yeah.
Ganda na ng tinatakbo ng, especially me, kasi naalagaan ko rin yung sarili ko nun, physically, pinupush ko rin yung sarili ko nun. Ayun. Yung season 95 namin na yun, very, very special yun kasi nga panalo namin ulit yung championship after a long time. And ayun, after nung season na yun, marami rin talagang schools na try to contact me to go to their programs.
Yeah.
I was actually one of the last ones to commit to Beda nung nag-commit sila Sally, Sanchez, and Inot. I was the last one to commit because I still had to meet with LaSalle that time.
LaSalle, kasi your brother went there.
Went to LaSalle. So, yun. But, you know, I stayed with San Beda because I know that I feel like I can improve myself even better here in the NCAA. And I feel like there's more opportunities for me to showcase my skills and my abilities here in the NCAA. And I think it paid off naman my decision to go here in San Beda.
Ikaw ba, saan ka pinanganak?
Dito sa Philippines.
Where here in the Philippines?
Manila, Quezon City.
Manila, okay. Pero, ba't ka pumunta ng States?
My dad was actually studying for his PhD.
Oh, okay.
So, ayun, dinala kami ng tatay ko doon. Me, my other brother, and my mom.
Okay.
So, yun.
Ilang years kayo doon?
Actually, 4 years ako nagstay doon.
Wow! So, doon ka talaga unang na-expose sa basketball?
Yes, organized basketball. Kasi when I was here in the Philippines growing up, puro sa labas lang ako naglalaro eh. Kalye basketball talaga.
Yeah.
Then, wala akong team sa nasalihan from bata ako hanggang grade 5. Wala akong sinasalihan na teams.
Wow, I never knew this about you. Kasi, syempre, I know of your brother na San Sebastian.
they were also a very strong team during his time, and then of course naglasal na. I never knew that story about you.
Kaya wala talaga akong kaalaman sa organized basketball. Napanood ko lang sa kuya ko. Idol ko si kuya ko nun talaga eh. Then yun, nagpunta ako sa Amerika, doon ako nagsimula na matuto ng basketball.
Pero nung nasa Amerika, syempre, the kids there are much bigger.
Yeah.
Were you already big during that time?
Actually, nung bago pa ako pumunta ng Amerika, I was like 5'4".
Maliit ka.
Yeah, 5'4".
Okay.
And then suddenly, like 2 months, nasa States na ako in 2 months, 3 months, I had a growth spurt.
Okay.
From 5'4", naging 6'1" ako.
Wow, ang bilis.
In span of 3 months. Yeah, medyo nagulat ako. I had to change all my clothes, my shoes. My parents were surprised too.
Wow.
Grabe, tinangkad ako.
So that's when you first realized na, okay, maybe I have a future in basketball.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I started playing basketball more. Then I actually got into American football also.
Wow.
I played American football also. in the
Wow,
States.
that's crazy. What position did you play, American football?
I played left tackle.
Wow.
I was really big back then.
You were on the heavy side
Yes,
back
I was
then.
on the heavy side talaga.
Wow.
Siyempre, I was a kid going to the States. I was enjoying yung mga pagkain eh.
Your game, Yuki, is you're one of the most versatile players in the league in all of collegiate basketball because you can put the ball on the floor, back to the basket, you can shoot. Who do you pattern your game after? Because I think your game is very different from your brothers also.
Yes, very, very different. Yeah, my brother is like a defensive player. So I think yung game ko, actually, ang idol ko talaga growing up is like yung mga sila Tim Duncan, yung mga ganun.
Fundamentals.
Fundamental players lang. Yung mga ganun. Simple lang.
Yeah.
Back to the basket, mga post up, middies, ganun. Pero I think I translated my game when I saw Steph Curry.
That's when you decided that you should
Yes.
extend your range
I should
also.
extend my range also.
Okay.
And I think that helped me a lot, in the college basketball.
Yuki, Coach Yuri says that what he's teaching here in San Beda is not just about basketball, it's about life.
Yes.
So, obviously, you're a very talented player. You want to continue playing basketball, I don't know, until the wheels fall off, play professionally. But if you weren't a basketball player, ano sa tingin mo yung ginagawa mo?
I think I'm on the business side.
You're taking up business by here
Yes.
sa San Beda? Okay.
Yes. I'm taking on marketing management.
Marketing
actually. Yes,
management.
marketing management. So, also I want to, to open my own business if I was not in the basketball side. And, malaking tulong naman yan. Sabi nga, sinabi sa inyo ni Coach Yuri na yung mga tinuturo na dito, if ever, I could apply that even if I'm not playing basketball anymore, Maraming teachings dito sa San Beda, especially in Coach Yuri's system, that you can bring along the way in your life. And those teachings that you should really keep it. Hindi lang siya yung ibabaliwala mo lang pagtapos mo doon sa college career mo. And that's a really, really big thing for me na ayun yung mga tinuturo ng coaches sa amin dito.
More on the basketball side, who are your toughest matchups in the NCAA or maybe even in the UAAP? Kasi like you're considered a matchup nightmare kasi of your skill set. Pero sa'yo, like who do you enjoy playing against like in the collegiate level?
Probably Kevin Kimbao.
Kevin Kiambao. Wow,
Yes.
that's a good matchup right there.
I think I've been playing against him ever since high school. Siya yung lagi siya nasa top eh. So I'm really trying to chase yung kung ano yung ginagawa niya. Especially when we play against him in the field oil o yung mga different leagues. I get excited na I get to play against this kind of player, a very excellent player, very versatile player, And that gives me the motivation to even go further and do more things in basketball.
Well, with that, Yuki, I want to say thank you so much for your time and I wish you all the best with regards to basketball and whatever path you decide to choose beyond the NCAA.
Thank you.
Yuki Andrada, team captain of the San Beda University Red Lions.
Unfortunately for San Beda, their season was ended last Saturday after losing to the Binil Blazers, who now advance to the finals to face the number 1 ranked Mapua Cardinals. As for Yuki Andrada, meron pa po siyang isang taon of eligibility in the NCAA, but he has stated after the game na hindi pa siya sigurado whether he will come back to play for San Beda or whether he will turn pro. Whatever the decision of Yuki Andrada, we're very excited for the future, and we wish you all the best on behalf of everybody here from the Scorecard. When we return, it's time to keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the Scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. We'll break down the upcoming matchups to deliver key insights that might just give you the edge you need to stay ahead of the game. Tomorrow, November 26 at 8:30 a.m. Philippine time, the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts takes center stage for a highly anticipated matchup between the LA Clippers and the Boston Celtics. The Clippers, fresh off a dominant 104-88 victory over the Sacramento Kings, come into this game short-handed. They will be without Norman Powell, PJ Tucker, and Kawhi Leonard. James Harden has been leading the way, contributing 22 points in their last game. And the Clippers bench has been a factor, outscoring the Kings' second unit 39-9. On the other hand, the Boston Celtics are riding high after a 108-96 win over the Washington Wizards in the NBA Cup. Jaylen Brown scored 31 points, and despite Jason Tatum struggling from deep, he extended his streak of scoring to at least 15 points to 55 games. However, Boston will be without Kristaps Porzingis, and Luke Kornet is listed as day-to-day. The Boston Celtics are the favorites at minus 6.5, thanks to their home court dominance and a 6-0 start at TD Garden. LA Clippers are underdogs at plus 6.5, but their resilient play and deep bench make them a worthy challenge. The over-under is set at 215.5, so expect a tactical game with Boston or both teams relying on defense and half-court sets. This game could hinge on which star can assert their offensive dominance. Brown's slashing and defense will be tested against Harden's defensive or veteran playmaking and scoring touch. With the Celtics looking to keep their perfect home record intact and the Clippers hoping to build on their strong showing in Sacramento, this matchup promises to deliver. Will Boston's dynamic duo lead them to victory? Or can LA's deep bench pull off the upset? We shall see. And at 11 a.m. Philippine time, live from Chase Center, San Francisco, California, it's the Brooklyn Nets taking on the Golden State Warriors. The Nets are coming off a tough loss to the 76ers 98-113, where Cameron Johnson poured in 37 points, but couldn't overcome the team's 19 turnovers, leading to 28 points for Philadelphia. For the Warriors, they let a 17-point lead slip away in their 94-104 loss to the Spurs. Steph Curry struggled with just 14 points, and Golden State was outscored 33-13 in the final quarter. They'll need to shore up their bench, which has been inconsistent after a strong start to the season. The Brooklyn Nets entered this game with a 6-10 record, looking to break out of a slump after dropping 4 of their last 5 games. They'll be short-handed with Dennis Schroeder, Dorian Finney-Smith, Bojan Bogdanovic, and Darren Sharp all sidelined due to injuries. Meanwhile, the Golden State Warriors, sitting at 8-8, will be hungry for a bounce-back performance after a devastating fourth-quarter collapse against the Spurs. Jonathan Kuminga is a game-time decision, while Quinton Post and DeAnthony Melton remain out of the lineup. Johnson has been the most reliable scorer for the Nets, coming off a 37-point performance, but he'll need to limit turnovers and take advantage of Golden State's struggles in transition. Curry, on the other hand, will look to regain his scoring touch after a quiet night against San Antonio. This game could come down to who can carry their team when it matters most. The Warriors are the favorites at minus 4.5, thanks to their home court advantage at the Chase Center. But the Nets, as plus 4.5 underdogs, have the firepower to pull off an upset if Cameron Johnson and Keon Johnson can get hot early. The over-under is set at 223.5 points, indicating a potentially high-scoring affair if both teams find their rhythm. With the Nets trying to stop their bleeding and the Warriors aiming to avoid a losing streak, this matchup is set to deliver high-intensity action. Will Steph Curry and the Dubs defend their home turf, or can the Nets pull off a road upset? Don't miss out on all the action tomorrow. And that wraps up tonight's preview, so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Now, before we go, think on this. From one of the greatest American football coaches of all time, Vince Lombardi. He says, "The only place success comes before work is in the dictionary." And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you again here on the Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, right here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. My name is Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening. Good night.